if I'm just focusing on projects. By the way, the readings, that's the electronic version of your textbook here. So let me go into Word Module 3, the SAM Lab project. Notice how many attempts you have left. I'll click Start. Before I download the instructions, I want to mention something. It depends on your web browser, but before you download anything, it's helpful to figure out in your particular web browser, in this case I'm using Google Chrome, where it's going to put your downloaded files by default. So in Google Chrome, I'm going to click here and go to Settings, and then go to Advanced, and I'm going to keep scrolling down, and in this Downloads section I like to have that turned on so that every time I download a file from the internet, especially SAM project instructions or start files, leave this option turned on because you want to make sure that you have the ability to tell it where you want to download your files. By default, if you don't change that, it's going to put it in your downloads folder. So just keep that in mind. So now let's start on the project. When I click the instructions file, depending on your browser settings, it may ask you where to save it, or it may just go ahead and open the files. I have my flash drive plugged in, and I have a CIS 110 folder and a Summer 2018 folder. So I'm going to save the instructions in there. You're welcome to save them or print them out if you like. I'm also going to download this very important start file, and it's remembering where I put my last saved file. So this file path is correct, so I'm going to leave this one there. It's important that you download that start file to your computer. Don't just open it up. Okay, you want to make sure that you have the original saved on your computer and the next part. What I'm going to do next is use my File Explorer button to navigate to where I saved my files. In this case, my flash drive, my CIS 110 folder, Summer 2018. And here's the file that here's my instructions. I'm going to open them up and leave them over here on the left-hand side. And then here's my original start file. That's the one with the 1 at the end. 3B for Module 3, Project B. So this is the original file, my start file. I'm going to drag that over here and make this a little bit bigger so that I can show you what's going on from the instructions and then in the Word document itself. I'll make that a little bit bigger. The first thing that we'll do with our start file is go to File and Save As, and I'm going to click not just once but twice to put my cursor here, and backspace over the 1. Don't change any of the other characters. Put a 2 there. Make sure that's the right folder that you want to save to. If not, change it and then click Save. So everything I do now in the file that has the 2 at the end of the file name, that's the stuff that we're going to submit to SAM for grading. So let's see if I can go over this one in the 15-minute limit that I have for my video. For the project steps, we have number 1. We're going to format the title Bicycling for All. We're going to highlight that and change the font to Constantia 24 point. And then the font color to Orange Accent 2, darker 25%. Notice if you hover your mouse pointer over these, it'll tell you which one it is. Orange Accent 2, darker 25%, so we'll click on that. For number 2, we want to modify the first body paragraph, which starts with the American Bicycle Alliance and then ends with roads and pathways. I like to use this mouse pointer in the left margin to quickly drag the lines that I want to format. So you'll see me do this a lot to select an entire paragraph or a line. We want to change the line spacing to 1.15, which is just a little more than single spaced. And then we want to change the paragraph spacing to 0 point after the paragraph. You want to go to Layout and then go to Spacing After and change that to 0. Then I'm going to save my file so I don't lose any of my changes. For number 3, several students had questions about number 3. So here goes. We want to format the 3 paragraphs beginning best bicycling communities and ending fun transportation and health. So I'm going to highlight those. And then I'm going to go up here to the Home tab, to the numbering button, and I'm going to click the down arrow. And my computer is remembering where I did this before, but I'll try to repeat the steps anyway. On your computer, you'll need to go to Define New Number Format, and then click here. After that period, backspace over the period because it says no periods. Highlight the number just in case, and then go to Font and make sure it's bold. Leave the number style on 1, 2, 3. Delete the period, make that bold, and then click OK. For number 4, we want to format Best Bicycling Communities heading so that it matches the other 2 headings as follows. So I'm going to highlight that, right align the paragraph. I'm going to go to the Borders button and add a top border, and then change the paragraph spacing to 18 point before the paragraph. So I'm going to go to Layout, Spacing Before, and bump that up to 18. I'm going to save my file again. Number 5 has you use the Format Painter button. So what we're going to do is copy the formatting from Candidates for New Awards. So I'm going to highlight that. We want to copy just the way that's formatted to these other 2 headings. So the way you'll do that is highlight the line that has the formatting you want to copy, go to the Home tab, and since we're going to be copying the formatting to multiple headings, I'm going to double click instead of single click this Format Painter button. So I'm going to double click it. I know that the Format Painter button is turned on because you'll notice my mouse here has the I-beam pointer and a little paintbrush beside it. So to copy that formatting to award renewals, I'm going to click once there, and I can still see that the Format Painter is turned on because I see that little paintbrush beside my mouse. And then I'm going to scroll down and click to select the line Current Award Winners. And if your Format Painter is still on, which it should be, to turn it off you press the Escape key. Now my mouse pointer is back to normal. Number 6, for the italicized paragraph that begins with the application deadline, that's this paragraph here. I'm going to highlight it, and it says to change the indent left and the indent right. We're going to go to the paragraph group, click Paragraph Settings. Under Indentation, we're going to change that to 0.5 for the left and 0.5 for the right. That will set the paragraph apart from the surrounding paragraphs. I'll click OK. So we see we've increased that indent, so the paragraph is more in the middle. For number 7, we want to go to page 2, and it says for the italicized paragraph, the Best Bicycling Community Awards, we want to highlight that paragraph, increase the indent by 1 level, so we're going to use the Increase Indent button, click it once. Then we're going to format 3 paragraphs beginning Fort Collins, Colorado, and Portland, Oregon. That's those 3. Using the default bullet style. So we're just going to click the bullet button itself. And that should give you 3 solid dot bullets just like these. Then we want to modify the bulleted list that starts with maps and guides and ends with recreational programs, so we'll highlight those 4. We want to change that to the checkmark bullet style, so we're going to click the arrow beside bullets and choose the check mark. And then number 10 is a little tricky. We want to format these 4 paragraphs beginning spring and then ending holiday bike bazaar. What you're going to do here is a little different than anything you may have done before. We're going to highlight them first, go to your paragraph button, and we're going to go to tabs. Tab stop position, we're going to put 0.75, and then we're going to click OK. Now that doesn't appear to have done anything yet because we haven't done step B. Step B, we want to insert a tab immediately before each event name. So we're going to click in front of Ride Your Bike Week and then press tab. Click in front of State Bike Challenges and press tab. Shifting gears, click in front of the S and press tab. And then click just in front of the H in Holiday and press tab. So that's how you do number 10. I'm going to save my document again. For number 11, we want to apply some paragraph shading. Sometimes students, the first time they do this, they don't notice it says paragraph shading instead of font. So in this paragraph, please contact the ABA. I'm going to highlight that, and then don't change the font color like I did and some students did earlier because we read too fast. It's paragraph shading, so that's going to be this button here with the little tipped over paint can. We want blue accent 5, lighter 60%, and again look at the screen tip as your mouse points to the different colors. So that's step 11. And then for the picture, we're going to do that in 12 and 13. Step 12, to resize the picture, click on the picture first, and that'll give you a format tab on your ribbon that was not there before. Here's your height. We're going to change the height to 2.67, and then the width to 4. So that makes our picture a lot bigger. And while the picture is still highlighted, we're going to go to Picture Effects to do step 13, which is to apply an offset diagonal top right picture effect from the outer section of the Shadow Picture Effect gallery. And on my computer it shows up as offset top right. So I'll click there. Notice when you click away from the picture, that format tab disappears. Don't forget, in your instructions file you can look at the last couple of pages to see what your document should look like when you're finished. So I'm going to close my instruction file. I'm going to save my changes one more time. It's also very important to close your project file first before submitting it. Make sure your project file is closed. Also make sure that you're not using Word Online, but you're using the full version of Office. So to grade it, I'm going to go to Choose Files. I have to navigate to where I saved it earlier. And let's see, it's this one. Make sure that you grab the one with the 2 at the end. 3 is for Module 3. And I'm going to submit it. And let's see what kind of grade I got. Notice it may take a few minutes for it to upload, a little bit longer for it to grade it, so be sure to give it enough time. You can click View Report here, or you can go to the Reports tab. You can see that's the one that I just turned in. I can go to the report, and it probably asked me to save the report, or on your computer it may ask you to open it up. So there's 100 out of 100.